Okay, okay. Cool. Yep, that's the right display type. This just feels a bit crowded in right now, but it's beta. They'll probably expand it out later. Very minor things. Picture the mantle of a road trader, a sign of the ancient dynasties of daring privateers to reign over their trade protectorate and explore the fringes of the known galaxy. Darkness looms over the bloodlines of the Van Valsius as it faces multiple dangers from a traitor amongst its ranks to the numerous enemies seeking to destroy the most daring and brave agents of humanity. It is up to you to hold the reins of shattered protectorate and forge a new path for the Road Trader dynasty that finds itself in the vortex of wars, intrigue, calamities, and heresy. The stakes rise as you cross paths to the most powerful adversaries and rivals. Chase their own goals in the darkness of the Chronos Dispatch. One second, thought of something, wanted to change it real quick. Okay. Update that real quick. Good. Continue. We're going to do normal because fuck going core right off rip. This is a beta. Deal minimum of 2 or 20% damage, whatever is greater. Party members' resolve is increased by 1. Okay, so yeah, just normal. Normal Owlcat shit. Alright, now we need to make our road trader. I'm gonna get some stuff pulled up over here real quick. 1 second. Grab that. There we go. Okay, so Hetta, Darius. We will create our own road trader. Alright, what portraits do we got here? That's fucking sick. Just rocking around with a heavy bolter. Dude, these fucking female portraits are sick as fuck. Crazy Zealot. And substantially, the female portraits are 100% better than the men's. Like this one and that one, holy shit. And I think this one, yeah, that one's fucking dope as fuck. We'll go with that though. And zoom in on the face. Keep fucking misclicking. Looks like he has a scar. It's fucking hilarious. But no. Seems a bit more standard for 40k. Yeah, we'll go tubing. Oh, those are stars. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I don't know if implants are implemented yet.
I'll bring glory to my bloodline.
Well, that's our option, so. Alright. Death World, Voidborn, Hive World, Forge World, Substance Implants, Feudal, Analytic Implants, plus 10 Intelligence. Is that what I want, though? Once per combat, when the wounds of a Death World character drop below 30%, they gain plus 20% temporary wounds. That's not bad. Grabbing the wrong fucking thing. Talents, Brutal Hunter, Trusty Weapon. For Ats, Hammers, and Las weapons. Death World just seems to be the fucking best one. Forger characters gain agility bonus, movement points, and dodge. Gain +5, +2 times toughness bonus to armor. So I could be a fucking tank. But also I want to be a nice mix. I want to be able to stand back when able to. So ballistic skill, perception. Alright. So ballistic skills should be our firing. Weapon skills should be our melee. Toughness will be our, like, constitution. Fellowship, agility, willpower. I'm thinking we're just gonna go fucking Death World because it kinda just made sense. Alright, so do we want to be a commander? Astromythium commander and all his allies deal an additional 20% bonus. Perception, modifiers is health. Allied commander deals an additional cap. The next Commissar's single shot or single target melee attack applies the following effects. Target enemy becomes marked. The ally who killed the target. Okay. So I've already played as a Commissar. No, I'd put us at 10 weapon skill, I think. Warham, once per combat. Toughness, willpower, lower Imperial. For one round, the Navy officer and his allies, and 3 cell radius gain +2 deflection for each. That's for commerce. Ooh, dude, we got a fucking sick-ass mantle. We don't really get anything, though. Work in progress. This origin is missing some content. The full version of this origin will be available in the release version of the game. Divination. Okay, so I think... Combine arms effect, all of them gain +5 rate of fire for every... Yeah, we're gonna do this. Yeah, Moment of Triumph. Darkest Hour. Okay, so I'm assuming goal... What our... past is, like our baggage... Doctrines. Charge. Bring it down. Voice the command. Study enemy. We'll go marksman. This attacks makes an attack with a current weapon against the enemy. The attack cannot miss and deals plus 50% damage. Doctrine, fighter, or adept. Skills, demolition, lore, Xenos, ballistic shield, wild hunt, hunt down the prey. Yeah. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Oh! Marksman and master of all range weapons capable of quickly getting into an advantageous position and mercilessly raining fire on enemies. Marksman is well trained and usually highly diverse range of arms, but they especially tend to blast their enemies with bursts of fire of the effect weapons. Burst and area of effect weapons. So this will allow me to like, just pick up a +10 in those skills. Characteristic, these are skills, and those are talents. Okay. Alright. All forms of ranged weapons, a high ballistic skill, so... Let's pump that up. I'd like a slightly higher fellowship. We'll take that to 30. Pump you to 40. Pump you to 40. Okay. Now our ship. Invictus Erebus, Haven of Seekers. That was my dog's name. Zeus. His nickname, the Moose. We're looking pretty well fucking right. I mean, we're dumb as shit. but... Or from a death world, that's fine. Rebudas Mexicanus. I think that's a good fucking name, honestly. I am the rabid Metsiju, and I am Rebudas Mexicanus. You have killed my father, haha. I am so fucking pumped. Conrad, an excellent place for contemplation. Contemplation. The man who has approached you is gazing down to the depths of the vast temple on one of the lower decks. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity. Frankly, such... you are in dialogue? Yeah. Truly an awe-inspiring slave. Frankly, such excess and brain can be tiring at times. All this ostentatious luxury, this laughable pretense. It's enough to make one think that the architects meant to compensate rather than glorify. Have we met? Do you have any particular reason for disturbing me? The man casts an intrigued eye over you. An interesting perspective. However, allow me to offer you a bit of advice. In the interest of your own well-being, you should frame your thoughts with greater piety. Demonstrating such a lack of care when choosing your words might be viewed by certain people as evidence of insufficient trepidation before the God Emperor, the master of humanity. Merely criticize the talentless architects of this place, nothing more. Prefer to serve by acting, not speaking. I thank you for your advice. I shall strive to follow it in the future. I do not show deference for things I do not believe in myself. That is a sketchy answer. Not believing in the God Emperor is, it's like being in the 1500s and just looking at your local card and like, God does not exist. He's gonna burn your fucking ass. You seem to attach much importance to words. Well, I have a fondness for names. I have yet to hear yours. The man lets out a laugh that he deftly masked by clearing his throat. My apologies. The statement you made was so intriguing that I forgot myself. Yeah. Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad Voljev, Master of Whispers in the employ of Her Ladyship Road Trader Theodora von Valsius. At your service. I haven't yet had the pleasure of speaking to you in person before. Valdver bows his head and focuses his attention on you. Lieutenant General Rebudas Mexicanus Scipio Dramald, Commander of the 8th Army. That worked out fucking phenomenally. Holy shit, I'm glad I picked that name. I'm Lieutenant General Rebudas Mexicanus Scorpio Grimald, Commander of the 8th Army of the Scythian Janissaries. We were in charge of Janissaries. Ooh. I think I know that regiment. My regards, Lieutenant General. The Astral Militillum is the hammer of the God Emperor. Isn't that what they say? Well, it's likely that fate will give you ample opportunity to demonstrate your talents as a commander. He smiles faintly, but you are not sure if it's directed at you. I will be frank with you. You may forget your family name no matter who gave it to you or what its origins are. From the moment you and the other candidates were brought aboard this void ship, your fate changed. You now serve Lord Captain Theodore von Valsius and carry the burden of an heir of this house henceforth. You shall share your dynastic name with her ladyship, bear it with honor. Why am I aboard this vessel? Why have I been brought here? You have a curious title, Master of Whisperers. What are your responsibilities? Tell me about the one on whose ship I have found myself. You say I'm one of the Road Trader's heirs, and there's another candidate. I assume you had a goal in mind when you dedicated to seek me out. Let us address it. But of course, I have come to invite you to the meeting of Lady Theodora. I imagine that you have many questions for your patroness, but I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had the opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. So this whole, cathedral's on the ship. The Lord Captain and Master Elthrod von Valsius are conversing on the observation platform located in one of the wings of the officer's deck. Let us join them. I shall accompany you.
Victory awaits.
I mean, I'd rather you not. That is loud as shit. Wrong button. Ooh, it is fucking gorgeous. Got some las guns. Confessors, debt enforcer.
Follow my lead.
Interactable objects. Yep. Now, what could this be? Comprehensive information is displayed on the large screen above the cogitators. More stuff I don't understand. A massive conference table, obviously trapped from real wood, a resource of incredible value aboard a void ship.
A new challenge for me?
Potentially. There you are. Servitor. Shit. Maybe not the way I wanted to go. Master Whispers, an emergency. The esteemed Lord Captain's pet has broken the bolts. Why do you have this as a pet?
Feel my wrath!
Alright, start battle. Fuck, I'm gonna get a chance to shoot it. Or not. What am I running with here? Stub revolver, range of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
My tactics are flawless.
Yeah, I know how this works. Thank you. Combine arms, don't need to do that. Well.
All too easy.
Might as well reload. Okay, so I do have to hit space. It's not auto end turn.
For the glory of the Imperium.
And drop it. On a day like this. Where am I walking off to? Hello? There we go. What's suspiciously poor timing for such an accident? A wild beast breaks free on the officer's deck at the exact moment when the road trader and her heirs are gathered here? Without taking his eyes off the dead beast, Valdra removes his VOTS taster from his belt and speeds a few quick orders into the device and turns to you. I blocked off passage between the upper and lower section of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan. Why would he let this happen? You're the master of whispers. Spread out. No one's allowed to enter the premises. Stations. The lines on Valdra's forehead soften, and his voice regains its usual courtesy. I'm afraid I must remain here, Rebitus Metstanis. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of those orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the other end of the corridor. The Master of Whispers gives you a curt bow.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Vibrant alloy, which upon closer examination turns out to be a crafted object. Symbols carved with a primitive tool are visible on the surface. A black shard that resembles obsidian is very close. If you look very closely, a strange, barely perceptible glow inside the artifact. Blackstone. A massive golden amalgam interspeed with the sparkling particles. Interspect the sparkling particles. A sword on the pedestal is no doubt solid, but its surface shimmers and changes hue, as if someone captured a piece of the choppy sea.
None shall stand in my way.
A strange object that resembles a pelate coral. The porous surface is pitted, a sign that it has been underwater. A gray green crystal with the white veins. A low hum can be heard coming from the artifact. The case from which Theodora's pet escaped shows no obvious signs of damage. The cause of the creature's escape remains a mystery to you.
It's about time.
Huge beast roars sees and approaches. Tentacles in the mouth begin to move, oozing muddy saliva from its numerous pores. I'm fucking busy up here. The main deck? It looks like it. Nope, 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 nope.
I won't tolerate weakness.
We are looking for things.
A new challenge for me?
Alright, gotta go this way. Ow. Raise your head again.
Follow my lead.
Ugh. Got Tet priests. Some servo stalls. What is this? Some sort of navigational device? Religious device? I mean, we got globes and shit. Ah, so I was supposed to go over here. This is very This is simply irrational, Lady Theodora, says the man dressed in particular garb, his voice tight and tense, his face half of which covered by sin skin, is twisted in a grimace of displeasure and disbelief. Assimilation into the trade structure would be politically and economic suicide, particularly in a mission of heresy. The tall, gray-haired woman pins him with her gaze, her cybernetic eye flashing crimson. Then suggests an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation no worse than my seneschal could have done. Make the decision. What will you do, Ion the Sixth Ethrold? The first impression that Ethrold, who appears to be about 30 years old, is of parchment-like skin stretched over a tightly bundled mass of sinew, implants in bones, and nervous twitching fingers. His face twists by a slight tic, and the jerk movements are all signs of some illness or defect that has taken over his physical form. So what, that's you? Stark contrast to Ethrold, Theodora von Valsius' features appeared as if they were carved from marble, eternal and indestructible. Head raised high, proud posture, hands clasped casually behind her back. Everything seems to emphasize the difference in status between her and Ethrold. Behind the two of them, you see two more men. One is a gray-haired officer of impeccable bearing, who is studying the contents of his data slate. The other is a behemoth bristling with holsters and baldrits, containing all manners of weapons. Ooh, I like him. Our second candidate has joined us. The dry female voice and the powerful feeling of being watched force you to look at Theodora. The road trader is looking straight at you, and her gaze, like herself, is predatory and abrasive. Rabius Mexicanus, approach and give me your answer. Consider this hypothetical situation. Iona sits a new world on the fringe of the Tron's expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirit that protect those who offer them sacrifice. Flights of fancy, you might say. But attempts to assault Aura Stretches have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanish overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure? Those spirits could well be native names for dangerous animals. I would first verify if it is indeed the case. If the population of Ion sits engaged in Xeno worship. There are ways to confirm whether what is happening at Ion sits is witchcraft or not. It might cost several cycles to do so, but it will give us the answer. I would retain some connections in the Astromech. I have retained some connections in the Astromech. A few Imperial Guard regiments would take care of the natives, their spirits, and the magma. Self-fortifications have never let me down. Arturo. Reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor. Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you, Rabius Mexicanus, are simply unaware of their existence. I dream a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, was still more than you could do, Ethrold. I find your tone most disagreeable, Ethrold. You will You would kindly alter the manner in which you address me, or else you will live to regret the consequences. Ezreal said, well, I find your company disagreeable, Rabidus Metzis, and I yet am forced to endure such. Ezreal, Theodore's son renders him silent. I believe I gave you an assignment on the ship. Explain to me, then, why my senior cogitator is still dawdling about the officer's deck instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspections of the departments in his purview. I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I will forget about the time. I well forgot the time. He bows and takes his leave without sparing me another look. I mean, fair. Fuck that guy. Theodore Zace follows him as he leaves. She enters you. So, Rabidus Metzis, where are you? Why are you here? I have questions I'd like the answer to. You are direct. I approve. But you have to wait. There's something I want you to understand first. My name is Theodora von Valsius Massino of Staris. I'm a road trader in the service of the God Emperor Humanity, and my rights and freedoms are vindicated by my sacred relic, the Warrant of Trade. Kept aboard this very vessel, mine is the honor to venture into the darkness beyond the Imperium and carry humanity's light, where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find, thereon, resources, people, riches, and mystery, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you, Rabidus Metzis, are one of those with the von Valsius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes. One of? Does that mean there are other heirs? I thought I was talking to an heir, the guy that was here. Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them, Ezreal. Yeah, that was one. Fuck yeah. Maybe Ezreal may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibility and the potential fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate. Oh, you do? Bloodthirst alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of the Warrant of Trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents have yet proven useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest allies. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Okay, so if I'm not... If she doesn't pick me to be the captain, she kind of still wants me to hang around, so I might make a great fucking partner for that dude. Theodora signs and looks away pensively for a brief moment. Alas, even those responsibilities can be at times too challenging for those who share your blood. Conrad Valdvir served me for many years before he made his mistake. Did I hear you correctly? The Master of Whispers is related to you? Thank you for clarifying. May I ask a question now? It's also done for me. If you're satisfied with Ezreal, what is the sense there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me? His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valsius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Valdvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least. What's wrong with him? That's not what I asked. Theodora shakes her head. Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. That they are not quickly to resign themselves to circumstances that more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Ethrald as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skill and knowledge you acquire in your former life may prove invaluable here in the Throne's Expanse. I was a Lord Commander, so... Service in Astra Militarum is a trial from which very few people emerge with their life. That you have risen to the ranks of the Imperial Guard and assumed command of an army is a testament of your astuteness. I've never seen that word written before. Both on the battlefield and in the tangled net of the Office of Intrigue. Net of Officer Intrigue. I assure you that the company that a road trader keeps will offer you plenty of chance to demonstrate both your diplomatic skills and your combat prowess. Oh yes, you would be, wouldn't you? The question is, am I ready to choose you over the rest? You come aboard hours before the warp jump and have not yet distinguished yourself in any way. As things currently stand, I have doubts that you are suitable for the role of road trader. The Vox affixed to Lord Theodore's attire suddenly comes to life, but all you can hear is unintelligible noise. Theodore winches, shuts off the transmission, and gives you an imperious nod. I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the voice ship translation out of the warp, and my presence with Troyer on the bridge. That is a dumbass question, because we would know that. And then that's on the officer deck, a wild beast was roaming free and attacking anyone who ran into it. Gracious Lord Captain, surely there are ways I can prove myself a worthy heir. Is that so? I do keep a number of pets native to one of my planets on the officer deck. Perhaps someone was careless during feeding time. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps our possessed ship was in the mood for a lark. Possessed ship? The Raider officer gives the road trader a look of cautious disapproval. Lady Theodore, for God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread by uneducated riffraff. Enough, Alberland. Such hearsay amuses me. Adira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. She turns to you. The ship is thousands of years old. It has enough hidden nooks, manufacturing cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folk speak of specters, dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live. You can start by not asking questions of this sort. I have no need for sycophants. I will draw my conclusions when an opportunity to give yourself arises. As for when, you'll be directed that opportunity only when the God Emperor knows. What are my current responsibilities? Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel, and in your new position, eventually I will find a post that suits you, as I did for Ethrald. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide. Yes, ma'am. In that case, I shall head to Theodore's Vox awakens what's in. And this time you pick up shouting. The Lord Captain freezes, listening to the Voxcast, then nods and draws her weapon. The servants reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. She glanced at you. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you have anticipated. Are we about to get breached? Yeah, we're getting breached.
Submit, and Then you'll die quickly.
I'll turn you into corpse starch.
Good boost, thank you.
Reduced to dust.
Fuck yeah, Aberland.
Viewer target.
Fuck yeah, Mort. Lots of misses.
I've suffered worse.
Two. Shoot on the run. No, thank you.
Suits my purposes.
Good hit. Don't you fucking shoot me.
Brace yourself.
You got that, Seneschal. Oh.
I took care of this one.
To the heretics.
What did you fucking use?
Not a problem for me.
One more dead. So we got 2 left.
One fewer target. Just a minor setback.
What are you about to do? Okay, so that's a plasma gun. Theodore waves her hand in commanding gesture. Mort, take the team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single Whoreson survive. The road trader turns her eyes to you. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst into the door, Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper deck. The false sense of security makes them that much more susceptible to the harsh realities of warp transitions. She looks at the VOTS in her hand. All you can hear is lifeless static. Possibly. Quite likely. Theodore winces and flips the switch on her VOTS a few times. We will investigate at a later time. Right now, we need to isolate the affected components and try to assess the situation. From what we have seen, Rabidus Mexicanus, I have speculated that we are dealing with some variety of warp madness. The Seneschal is astonishingly tall for someone who just survived a sudden attack. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto other debts. Theodore clicks her VOTS a few times. The caster's not working, or has been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us, or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communications. I will need a direct channel to the chief engineer before I get a sense of what we are up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons at the ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them. There's probably armories all over this fucking ship. It's huge. No gives you a gloomy look. Trust me, Rabidus Mexicanus. This is hardly surprising for a crew of thousands. The lower decks are a fertile environment for discontent and heresy. No matter how one tries to incinerate any seed before it to take root, all it takes is a hint of warp influence to cloud the minds of normal, obedient cattle. Cattle, huh? Sporadic riots on the lower decks never reach these components. Theodora's anger causes the center cell to shrink slightly. No. The tumults of the rabble are always contained within their own territory. This is too well organized. It is spreading too rapidly. This writing is really fucking good. She breaks eye contact with you. Morton has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it. My captain, my captain.
Victory awaits. I don't have time for this. I'll pass.
There's a breakthrough attempt. Crew, to arms! That is so fucking loud. There we go, that's a little bit better.
It's about time.
Okay, so we're gonna keep moving. Getting pushed from the left. Fire that Melta. Got more people dripping up. Conrad Valdevere, let L.A. sigh of relief upon seeing you. Thank Providence you are alive and well. Always on time, huh, Conrad? The moment we finish casting out the riffraff around the deck, you show up always just after the fighting is done. You could set your chrono by it. Karen plainly looks away from the Arch-Militant to you. Mort, pull yourself together. The Arch-Militant looks back to you. What did the Lord Captain send you to Chivia Salon? We're all done here. I'll report right away. Mort pulls his watch from his belt and hurriedly reports the situation. I don't trust you. Master whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Votsnat is silent. The Vots Master is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my Arch-Militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report. I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Gellerfield failures. By communications, we are already unable... But communications, we are already unstable half an hour ago. And now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only VOTS taskers from lower bays are the ones heretically gibbering. One-way heretical gibberish. He pauses. The madmen have already reached the officer's deck, suggests that the outrage and was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny. Mutiny? But who would attempt a mutiny here? In the warp? A mutiny against the Emperor's anointed. Execute the traitors, every last one of them. We must provide immediate assistance to those still on the middle decks. Perhaps then we might stop the wave from spreading. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator sanctorum are secure, and I have the means to do both of them at once. Her expression changes, and her eyes flash ominously. Theodora looks at Valdez. Ethrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A sighter aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons. I tried to locate him, but the last thing I knew was that, the last thing I know about his movements was when he arrived on Transitional Det 18. Blasted. Master Whispers, find Ethrod immediately. Seneschal, locate Kalas, the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch Militant, with me. I must go to my study, and it appears that we might encounter heretics along the way. Remedius Metzitanus, Theodore glanced at you thoughtfully. If I may, Lord Captain. Valdivir's voice is soft and cautious. Transition Det 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Ethrod back, I could use some support. After all, I am not an adept at directly confronting enemies of the house as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Ethrod's psychic powers, then it's settled. Remedius Metzitanus, find Ethrod and return here. In any state, the elevator, she points at the massive doors, lead to the restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand? In any state, what do you mean? We are in the warp. Considering the attacks, there could be a disruption in Dollar Fields and infiltration of malevolent forces onto the dead. Sighters might react to this in the most unpredictable ways. Enough. You, Master Whispers, must not allow my heir to turn into a mindless mutant and perish from Enforcer's fire. Do anything but bring him back Do anything but bring me back Ethrod. Cannot promise that I won't lose our dearest heir somewhere along the way. I'm not about to tell her, I'm going to kill this fucker. No matter what you say, I'm killing him. I shall do everything within my power. Not everything in your power. You will do as I say. I'll have your heads if you fail. Is that clear? Then move out. Mort, come on. Okay, glad I didn't say the other one. Alright, we move. You do not. Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear. I have a proposition. Since I'm the more important person here, you can go on the front to shield me from the potential harms. I'll make do lead the way. Of course you will. He rummaged in his pocket or something. Lady Theodora would never have someone she wouldn't rely on as one of her heirs, but that is no longer relevant. With a pop and a sharp crackle, something hits you in the abdomen and you are consumed by unbearable gut-wrenching pain. You prick. At least it wasn't a fucking Harlequin's Chris. I promise you a special destiny, Remedius Metzitanus. It is time to fulfill it. Never trust the Spy Master. He will fuck you. Fucking Spy Masters, man. You little finger fucking wannabe. Oh, Lord. Okay. Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our first visit to the Warrant Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Valdivir looks down at you. You are back with us, I see. Delightful. You're the one behind this. How perspective of you, Rebidus Mexicanus. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out myself. We are in the anteroom of the warrant chamber. This void shares the most hallowed vault. There, before those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all her power, the sacred warrant to trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtain it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part by myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the sentinel. I have no intention of helping you. Was it inbred? Is your blood too thin for the sentinel? On the contrary, the warp's blessing have raised me too much above your kind, Von Valsius. The sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help, after all. Isn't that what family's for? You warp-tainted prick. I have no intention of helping you. I'm afraid that you, Rebidus Mexicanus Von Valsius, have no choice in the matter. Valdevir produces a strange object, a blade with a handle that shimmers blue in the light. Try to resist, and I will demonstrate the power that the warp holds over mortals. Come to think of it, I might even take some pleasures in doing so. I will do as you require, but I will find a way to make you pay for this, you filth. To the void with you. Good thing I have willpower. The blade flashes in the dim light and the drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment, you feel nausea, your head spinning. And then quiet. Whispering begins to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each together, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a singular voice. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. I refuse. The voice in your head persists in their demands, and yet you feel this unseen force momentarily waver under the strength of your resolve, until the intruding influence forces you to your feet and pushes you towards the gate looming in the center of the chamber. I passed! Fuck you! In the gateway arch, you see a Tadzator with a human likeness built into the frontal panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor. An obedient automaton created by lobotomized human beings. The sentinel turns its head to you. One of its eye sockets light up with two ember-like irises. You look at Tadra. There is a little chance that you will be able to discern anything from its design, like any other sacred machine in the Imperium. This relic is specifically the machine. Is the specialty of the machine cult of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The servitor on the gate begins to move with a screeching and groaning of metal and leans forward close to you. Its lower jaw opens, a drawn-out shriek much wider than the jaw a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The void screen to the right of you lights up, showing strips of mysterious symbols in a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voice that fills your head after Valdir's wounded you with the blade, did not go away. On the contrary, the source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere deep in your mind. Look for anything that could be used as a weapon. Look around and hope to find at least something that could be used as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty in a perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or a protruding piece of rebar in sight. The servitor looks noticeably different from the ones that you're used to. Copper threads stitch the skin. The joints are replaced by metal hinges. It seems that the creators of the Sentinel did everything so that the results of their work would serve much longer than ordinary working automatons. Did you forget something, Rabbit Smith-Jonas? I'd suggest you hurry. Sentinel jaws clamp around your hand, puncturing the skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and the pumps stir in motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several minutes pass. The Sentinel's jaw remains closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps, if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath. Maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this has ever happened. Highest in levels caucus humors. The subject in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance? You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, cackling like static. Is it the Sentinel, the cogitator? Is it a figment of your weary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Yes, I do require assistance. Pain shoots your head and subsides, though as quickly as it sense the entirety coiled in your consciousness, does not have the ability to do any real harm. Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol. Well, there's still another way. What is that effect? Old wound.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
The enormous gate matches the importance of everything they protect. The massive doors are made of heavy metal that look impregnable.
A new challenge for me.
Something else. That's the writ of trade? Holy shit, that is big. Better than I thought. Let it be known that by my will and the true words of this document, I appoint the person to the patron of humanity unbroken darkness to unite, to triumph over nightmares untold, behold the reins of fate, to walk steadily in the road of thorns through the pain of greatness. The pain to greatness. Vodstall. The servo stall creaking gradually turns into comprehensible words. Escort the child of the house to safety. What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me? Temporary obneural following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by. Are you the Warrant Sentinel? Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel, designed to personally escort of the child of the house and the means of communication with road trader subjects. Mobile unit standing by. I need a weapon. I am utterly defenseless. Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal, initiating situational calculations. The servo stall goes silent and its relays clicking. Second after second passes, and you realize that the servo stall will not answer you. VOTSAT's frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection. In place of the mechanical screeching, the servo stall's VOTS projects the voice of Theodore von Vouches, distorted and ridden with static, yet still recognizable beyond doubt. VOTS Master, restore communications with the Navigator Centaurum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head. Communication protocols breach. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection. Lead me away from here. Middle and upper decks, assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentrations of armed unit. Calculating. The servo stall twitches and mates a few clicks. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received orders immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured. Let it be known the will, true words, document. I appoint the person who bears this, the warrant of trade, to bestow upon them the mission to the paragon of unbroken. Yeah. So I just have to walk out. I don't see anything.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Seal the warrant chamber. Seneschal Aberland Westian has lost some of his former polish. His forehead is sweating, and one of his sleeves of his coat is torn and soaked with blood. Nonetheless, despite his heavy breathing, his hands firm, his gaze is demanding, albeit somewhat surprised. Master Rebedius Mascanus, whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... He surveys the carnage around him, his brows furrow, and he places a hand on his weapon. Throne preserve me. What is the meaning of this? It's plain. The Seneschal's eyes widen. What? Yeah, dude, right? He intended to take revenge on Theodore for an old drudge and become the road trader himself. He spoke about defiling the warrant with some ritual and serving the gods of the warp. Serving the gods of the warp? Conrad's a heretic? Oh, Vadvis, you void rat. Aberland shakes his head. Madness. And this mutiny is likewise his doing, no doubt. Openly admitted that he is the mastermind behind the mutiny. Grotsteed. This is a small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal all passages between debts was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels, but now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive now, safe. Master Rebedius Mascanus. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. Nope, we can't. In a bad way, Mad Rebedius Mascanus. I can treat your wounds. I have a medical kit with me. And for the love of the throne, now, it's not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense here. Lasgun, flat chest piece, and a medkit. Cool.
Look no further.
Okay, so you... Where's your medkit? Stop. Flat chest piece. Here we go. I will take the last gun.
This wound will make a fine scar.
There we go.
To the fray.
Emma nods in satisfaction. There is a noticeable improvement, Rebedius Mascanus. Now, are you prepared for the trials ahead? Of course. Lord, that's a team of heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ships and forces are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation in the middle decks is much worse. Although strike teams have already been dispatched there, all communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So apart from scattered vodcast, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it all. He pauses when the lights flicker yet again. All these jolts and shakings are alarming. These are the signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and in the real space. In the worst case, they have already lost control of the process and we have precious few moments left to live. In the best case, if we manage to reach the navigator Sanctorum, we can get a handle on the situation. Some aboard this vessel may yet survive. I heard one of Theodora's vodcasts. Lady Theodora? Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator Sanctorum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well and safely in charge of the ship's defenses. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course. What's wrong with the translation? I am no helmsman, or God preserve me, navigator. However, I have spent my entire life aboard void ships, equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. I saw that pop up, and I just fucking lost track. It could be that the Gellerfield has faltered. Perhaps the navigator was struck down by the warp corruption and is fighting for the last strands of his humanity as we speak. If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the warp. Naturally, we will not have long to live in that scenario. But even so, I do not intend to resign myself to such an outcome. Very well. Will you lead the way? Aberlin nods his approval. Come, Rabbidus Messianus. A wave of static suddenly erupts from the servo skull, and you can make out Theodore's words through the noise. To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor. Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who have dared. The Thanos' eyes light up, and he smiles with grim determination. The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the VOTS networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the Road Trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward, Lord Seneschal.
I'll see you terminated.
I'll turn you into corpse starch.
All right, Eberland. All creatures within... Okay.
At your beck and call.
I should have moved up one more.
Victory is... I took care of this one.
Brace for impact.
Oh, my ears are ringing.
Okay.
Nothing of value has been lost.
Wish I could fire more than one at a fucking time.
Pain and duty go hand
Okay,
in hand.
both of them are going to die at once.
Brace yourself.
Okay,
blood.
that's going to be 3 dead.
Dominance achieved. I'm not interested. At your beck and call.
Sergeant. Should get you out of his melee range.
Already done.
Ooh, fuck, missed him. Good parry.
will do my one fewer
And
turns.
him. There we go. Nope. That's better for like grouped hordes.
Purposes.
Hit. What you gonna do, bitch?
Indeed. Reduced to dust.
There we go. Got him. Can we loot them? We can. Cool. Finally to our loot. Fuck off.
Follow my lead.
Okay. Las pistol. Can I fire more than one of those in a round? No, but I can throw a sword on, I think. Yeah. I dual wield swords? Ah. How does that look?
Doubt is
All right.
for the weak.
We gotta level up. Where do we click to actually do our level up? Vanguard would be your best. Alright, so we can go here. Alright, so I picked one of these I want. Player's next turn, all incoming damage is reduced by the fighter's toughness bonus. Yeah, we'll go with that. Let's cruise. This skill allows to resist negative effects and substances that expand knowledge on the topic. There we go. So that's how this works. Alright, I got it now. So marksman. Yep, got marksman. I would like to put more into my awareness. The marksman gains plus 10 ballistic skill, 5 plus 2 times agility bonus, critical hit damage, agility bonus percentage divided by, or that'd be agility bonus percentage times critical chance. At the end of combat, the ability is available after killing 3 enemies. The kill count is not reset between rounds. The marksman gives a sign that they are going to shoot. The marksman and their allies will automatically dodge the next marksman's shot. Yeah, I like that. Alright. Let's clear this fucking ship. Alright, time to head to the Navigator Centaurum on the Zeus the Moose. I miss Zeus. He was a good boy. That's why. His town's right here. Hasn't been washed or anything since the last day he used it. Good boy. Let's start about to do our Psyker.
Victory awaits.
Irda. The woman before you whips around and gazes straight at you, her eyes glowing with otherworldly light. And so he will enter the halls of the blinded guide and witness the radiance of the final dawn to the trats and fall victim to a whim of fate. Master Rabidus Metzganus, watch your head. Idra, Abelard grumbles as he dusts himself off and drips his weapon again. Would it be too much to ask that you phrased your soothsaying plainly for once? That was too close. The woman bursts into guttural drunken laughter. Sorry, old man. The voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, Oh, Aberland, how they sing. Rabidus Metzganus, this is Idra Talas, personal psyker and diviner of her ladyship Theodora von Valsius. Aberland looks her up and down. Idira. I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp, and it's seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate, to die in the waves of the Immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn, and in its roaring blaze I see a figure standing. Who is it? Who? I have no answer. The entity in your consciousness shrieks and crawls in deeper. It crawls scraping against the walls in your mind as if the presence it is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. A diviner, are you? Idra nods, yet her gaze is directed somewhere away from you. The voice is from beyond. The threshold whispers to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear. They grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices. Too loud. Idra turns her head to you, her vacant eyes flaring like embers. And you! You are Rabidus Metzganus von Valsius, one of Lady Theodora's heirs. Well then, we finally meet. I saw that being like more aggressive. I thought she saw the fucking thing in my mind. So I thought she was like, and you, come here! Like, grab my skull and like, fry the thing. I can't think of the fucking movie. Drag Me to Hell. I think that's the one. I know for sure that's the one where like she pops the fucking casket open and the lady just like rises out with her hand and like grabs her by the fucking hair. Like the corpse grabs her by the fucking hair. Oh god, that was such a crap movie. But I thought it was when I first watched, but looking back at it, it's kind of fucking hilarious. What the hell? One of my little things fell. I have so many goddamn knickknacks and crap like that at my desk. Hear a few clicks from the relays on the servo stall, which has followed you all the way here, and Theodora's scrambled words give way to a voice vaguely familiar to you. Officers, frequently to all who can hear me, those with weapons in their hands are to gather on the officer deck at once. I repeat, gather to the officer deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack. That's Eferald. Emperor provides. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to... Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, no number of Lady Theodora's heirs will be of use to us anymore. If Etherold, like me, has not yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold out a little. He can still hold out a little without us. Yeah, because he's a fucking psyker. The chances of any of you watching who aren't familiar with 40k is very slim. But Psychers are mages in the 40k universe, and they draw their power from the Immaterium, the warp. To exceed fast and light travel, The Imperium of Man uses something called a warp drive. So they rip a hole into the Immaterium, which is the layer of reality just below ours, where all our emotions and thoughts flow down to and feed everything in there. So we rip a fucking hole into in our reality, into that reality. We drive directly into and activate something called a Geller field. The Geller field keeps all the entities, which are known as demons, out. So the demons come to the Geller field and they hit it because the Geller field projects real space. So everything inside the Geller field is real space, everything outside is warp. When you're in the warp, demons cannot survive in real space. So Psychers being in the warp, they can have a couple things happen. They can be fine. They can be driven insane. They can have access to way more fucking power while in the warp because they're directly drawing from the warp and they don't have to rip it through the Immaterium as hard. Or they can get possessed by a demon. They can become a chaos spawn, which is just a mass of tentacles and and they just gibber nonsense. They lose all fucking sense of self and consciousness. And the worst possible one, this didn't happen to Psychers just anywhere, not just in the warp, it's just more common in the warp. They go to use an ability, and instead of them using that, let's call it a spell, their mind becomes a portal into the warp. So, like how we rip a portal into the warp to access void travel, this will just be their mind ripping as a stable entry into the warp, and a warp gate happens. And demons flow from the warp gate into real space, and that warp gate is pumping warp energy out into the world, allowing them to survive. Evelyn spits out a florid curse. Blast it, you're right. First, we need to deal with this, with what is happening here. How do you know who I am? What, do you think Lady Theodora asked me to peek into the darkness behind the bats of those... What, you think Lady Theodora asked me to peek into the darkness behind the bats of those she sees as prosperous heirs? Eudora laughs in a deep voice. I have seen you, Rabidus Mexicanus. I have seen the footsteps of your past, and the wounds of your heart. What are we going to do here? The whispers called me. The ones I couldn't make out amongst the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurts. They went after the Navigator, our guide to the warp. Other whispers called me to the Engineerium, but it was too late. I heard a cry of our master called, and silence that followed. So, the master tech priest is dead. What? You don't mean the chief engine seer is... Yes, Evelyn, dead. Without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator Sanctorum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we save the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks. We must save the Navigator as well. Oh, no. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the boltheads. What follows is calamity. Hilda freezes, then slaps her cheeks, rubs her face, and looks at you. The supernatural glow is gone from her eyes, and a smirk spreads across her lips. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a Navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since her skin hasn't peeled off her faces yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So, what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive. A piece of pipe left noticeably dented on the floor.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Locked door. Okay. Open this door. Hurry! Destroy this field! Don't keep our master waiting. What are you all fucking on?
None shall stand in my way.
Formation. Ah, so it's hold shift to move them freely.
It's about time. We must act. Death will find you soon enough.
Okay.
Take you down.
Start the battle. Fuck you.
It will be done.
Charge him. That's the closest you can get. Player's not certain all incoming damage are reduced. Yep. Pop that. You shall endure. Good dodge. Alright. Lightning Arc. Titan releases a blast of lightning which chains up to 4 targets within a 3-cell radius.
Cover me. No can do. I'm not so sure. Not this Grier's job.
What do you mean no line of sight?
Be gone.
That's fine. Good parry. Behind that cover.
Nothing I
Drop
can't
him.
do. You didn't stand a chance.
Good, good, good. Yep, you're gonna do some Psyker bullshit. Hit him.
I took care of this one.
Good, good, good. Now charge him.
What is this foreboding?
Over to there. Psychic staff. Alright.
Spell.
Some light friendly fire, but it's good. A creature in the chair appears as if it has become one with its throne. You see pink parchment-like skin stretched between the seat and the limbs. You have too many limbs that have too many joints for a normal human being. The navigator is breathing heavily and the air whistling as if it exits through the 2 dark gill-like slits on its cheek. The creature's eyes are shut. The 2 ordinary eyes as well as the third that sits on the center of its forehead. I believe Master Vespid is still alive. Eberland flinches at the sight of the stretched skin and the dark marks on the face of the creature. The servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. We have a chance of leaving this place alive. Why would I give him a pointed look for that? For the thank the Emperor? Wounded, exhausted, fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head. Pick 1. The Navigator stirs, barely able to lift his head, and half opens his normal eyes. A dark drop rolls from under the closed lid of his third eye and down his face, leaving a black trail. Your time is short. The voice is coming from the Vodstro at the base of the bizarre chair. It is unclear how the Navigator is able to produce human speech. You are in need of help. We have to get you out of that chair. Suddenly, the Navigator's body starts thrashing in place. It lurches forward and falls back onto the seat, then thrusts upward again as its bones crack and the skin tears open. However, the fusion between its body and the chair appears to be stronger than these wild impetuses. The mutant remains seated and leans as far forward as he can, the layered remnant slowly turning crimson. The jail slit bursts open, forming 2 hideous streaming mouth-like pits. Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn. Hydra shrieks in terror. It came from beyond. His body is not his. Iridus streams is echoed by the silent cries in the head. The unseen creature triumphant at the sight of the Navigator succumbing to the paralysis of corruption. Its march thunders under the burden of the hopes. Unseal your hearts, and it will flood your souls with the myriads of worlds and meanings, each one a potent of salvation within me. The Navigator continues to convulse violently in his seat, shrieking and cackling. Is that him right there? But then, his fit stops abruptly. His face is drenched in black and crimson. The dark ooze from under the third eye is turned from a trickle into a stream, mixed with blood coming out of his nose, and there is a pupil swelling around the eye. Run! Flee this place while I still have the strength. The words come from the Vots as a labored rattle. I can't contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp, but it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help. The Seneschal gazes at the figure in the chair. The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman. If he is still alive, it is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Ethrald and his people. I believe we will find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms, and the servo scroll relayed to us earlier. It's a trap. Idra reaches her hand out towards the Navigator and pulls back at the last moment. Vespid, good luck. Vespidus, good luck, and thank you. The Navigator does not give her a response. The black tears mixed with blood are streaming from under the closed eyelids. The Vots at the base of the chairs bellowing out static interspeed with distant echoes of otherworldly laughter. Navigator seems dead, only the significant movement of the chest. I don't see your third eye. Oh, is just a line right there? Is that what that's supposed to be? I like the organ. Time to loot. Is that an adze or a chain adze? It's an adze. Okay. Scrappy auto gun. Scrappy auto pistol. Accept all. Zooming this way.
Tolerate weakness.
Nope, not that way. Back the way we came. I wonder when D&D Beyond is going to release their virtual tabletop. Because the moment they do, we will start streaming fucking my D&D campaigns. I don't feel like using Roll20 or any of those. I could learn them. I just don't fucking want to. D&D Beyond system seems like it's going to be pretty good. Even if I'm not a fucking fan of the shit they've been pulling recently. By recently, I mean in like the last year. Wizards of the Coast this last year have been massive fucking dits. First with open game license bullshit. Where's the heir apparent? I shall pity your enemies. I shall heed not their pleas. We got a fucking battle done! And they're showing off her run and gun feature. In a very janky way. I dig it. I told you he would protect us. May the light, my God, my light, my emperor. See, I prefer the Sign of the Tog. Sign of the Tog looks way less fucking pompous than the Aquila. The Aquila just looks pompous as shit. One second, my YouTube playback messed up, as is normal for fucking YouTube. Come on. Do your thing. Okay, there we go. It's working now. The white-haired warrior turns to face you. Her dyed eyes blazing, the weapon quivers in her hand, and for a brief moment, it seems she's not going to stop and will instead continue illuminating every target she sees, starting with you. Sister Argenta. The Seneschal's voice carries the weight of command, and it seems to bring the warrior out of her battle trance. Sister Argenta, it is a relief to see you in good health and well armed. We require all the forces we can muster. The young woman called Argenta lowers her weapon and scans your small party with an intense gaze. Then she sets her sights on you. Your face is unfamiliar. Who are you? Rabidus Mexicanus von Valsius, the Lord Captain's heir. Argenta gives you another stern appraisal. You catch something strange in the dark depths of her eyes. Some internal struggle or otherworldly question. In the end, however, she nods. The hour is dark and daunting. The ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends are twisted by sneers of heresy. The eyes of comrades are igniting with the arch enemy's hunger. I will stand shoulder to shoulder with anyone willing to halt the advance of the dark forces. That is why you have come, isn't it? Yeah, why not? Sister, I beg of you. Abilene appears to be losing his patience. Now is not the time for intrigations. The ship is under attack by heretics. We've been betrayed by our esteemed master of whispers. Ethrald the heir is waiting for our aid. The Lord Captain Theodore is expecting a report on our success. Of course, we are here to deal with the situation, so I suggest we all do just that. Do not even think to insinuate that I am one of those traitors. I will not let such affront slide. The Seneschal is right. Very well. Let us leave at once. Argenta raises her chin proudly. I cannot wait to rain fire upon the heretics. Each and every one of them. What is the warrior of the Adeptus Sororitas doing aboard a rogue trader ship? Your order serves the ecclesiarchy, do you not? Sister Argentetta is a guest of the Lord Captain. Evelyn searched her a quick glance, and the story deserves its own time and conversation under more appropriate circumstances. Okay, so it's complicated. Fair, fair. Every minute spent in idle chatter robs a soul of their life through the actions of scoundrels and traitors. I am where I must be. That will suffice. Who are these people with you? Overseer of middle deck AL-84, my lord. We were rounding up everyone we could find in the attack compartments when we ran into an ambush. Just about every enforcer fell. These are the survivors. What is happening on the officer deck? Master, my lord, and heretics there are just killing the true. Some kind of blight is sweeping through the decks, filling the air. I saw people going mad the moment they breathed it in, screaming about seeing their dead comrades, tearing out their eyes. I implore you, my lord, be on your guard. We must go to the main hall of the deck. Through this door, Archibald nods the passage to your right. I'll go with you. I can't wait to destroy those who encroach on the God Emperor's domain. We will follow for now. We will hold off. We will follow for now. Now we will hold off any heretics who might try to crawl through the cracks to join the main assault. And we'll take a look at the generators while we're at it. Those villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, I wish we had a technomat with us, but we'll see what we can do without one. Good to hear it, sister. Good to hear it. Sister? Ready. May Terra's light illuminate our path through the fire and darkness.
A new challenge for me?
The explosion blasted a hole through the door, large enough for a person to get through. Alright. We will check out her gear real quick. She's got a bolt gun and carapace armor. And an auto pistol. Last? Yep. Alright, that's good enough for me.
I'll lay claim to the star.
Ooh, there's goods. Transinjectors, Mad Lev Impalers. So I take it that's probably just some shit that... Yeah, so is that door? Door will not move an inch. It's blocked. Alright, so yeah, this door.
Follow my lead.
You just said the door to the right, right? Only properly be opened with the right tool.
About time.
Wait, goods right there. Don't give me a plasma charge, aren't they? Well maintained, lasgun. Alright, so it's penetration 5, 6 to 9 damage. So it has an increased damage of 1, mass ammo 40, to fire 4. We'll use that. Open a jam door, click on the icon. The character with the highest tattoo score will make a skill check.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Never doubt me.
Never do.
Yes?
Citra has a treat by focusing all of the will be held behind one massive site to treat.
Will do. Here we go again.
Crush him!
We go. That's 2 dead. Oh shit. Okay. I was not aware that we actually got, like, deployment phase. Some weapons can be fired in bursts. Yep. Honestly, I kind of want you to focus on this side, because we can pop them with some lightning.
I'll do it. Eradicate it.
Good fucking kill.
There is movement in the Empyrean. But of course,
Hit him.
be gone.
Good shit. That was a nice triple. Scythers are kind of fucking good. Up there.
I will do my duty.
Endure.
Suits my purposes.
Shouldn't hit. There we go.
It's your biggest mistake.
Hey, you guys can keep moving forward. Just stay in a nice group. And good miss.
Faith without
Drop him.
deed, none can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Good shit.
Will do. What an unfortunate turn of fate.
It's 2 more down.
Follow my lead.
I don't... Wait. Veil Thickness. When Scythers reach deep into the warp to power their abilities, there's always a chance of the Imperium bleeding into our reality, if factored as an invulnerable, destructive, and damaging. Veil generation decreases to the previous Veil state after the battle. This state can be reduced in the current... This state can never be reduced in the current area. good. The charge in.
It will be done. Reduced to dust.
Good shit. Move up. 40. Good kill.
Duty prevails.
An attached replica of the Von Valsius void ship sits on the pedestal. Labels indicate the main compartments and depths of the vessel. Except all, I guess. Open door, doors. Goods. More stuff. More goods. What do we got here? Machine right set. Melt a charge and a multi-key. Yeah. I'm down.
Would you look at that?
Awareness check successful on what? Ah, goods. It says goods. We shall take it. Got more goods over there. Okay, gonna have some money going into it. Comes to seating area, completely destroy a piece of furniture and splinters are scattered everywhere in the dark. Stains cover the floor and upholstery. So, blood.
Victory awaits.
Rat's meat, rump steaks, engraved flask, Xenos music boxes. Silent. Alright, F5, save. Open door.
Experience? Nothing matters more.
Okay, got this. More melted charges, operator gloves. The rarer plus 3 bonus stat skill. Right, nothing I need to put on at the moment. Touch use.
An expected result.
A new challenge for me?
Restore power supply.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Right, go. Power is restored. Open door.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Shit. Oh, that was a mistake. I should have saved after every one of those doors. Now there's a chance that it's gonna be a pain in the dick. Can't wait to get my fucking Space Wolf. And the beta's at 1 through 3. So we have hours of fucking content. Touch use.
Lesson learned.
We shall unlock every door. I can't wait to get you the bolt pistol though, because that's gonna be big.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Okay. Touch use.
An expected result.
Powers back on F5.
Experience. Nothing matters more.
Need all the loot. More mounted charges. All this stuff's gonna come in handy later. We have a lower chance of doing this.
Favors me today.
Mantle of Heroism and 2 more multi-keys. I'm down. That was all that. Me.
Not my specialty.
Throw it at used in battle. Can't be equipped by this character. Okay, so you can have it. You can't. You can't, so. Whip the Mantle of Heroism. It's an inquisitorial fucking mantle. I want you to close the door. Why is that a thing? Holy shit, that is dumb. Alright, that's a bug to report, because we should not be able to lock ourselves back in that room, I feel. Bud reports, Bud reports, Bud reports.
None shall stand in my way.
Okay. Just checking, we got that, right? Yeah, we got all that. Do not touch the door.
It's about time.
Yeah, I'll blow the door up.
I better myself through my service.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Oh, there's a bunch of stuff over here.
Follow my lead.
Okay, so that's gonna involve us going all the way around? Yes. On Stele has blocked the path that lifts. Okay.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Okay. This is gonna be much, much harder. I can throw the gloves on him too. Give him an extra 5%. I want that pistol though. That one right there. Got a nice like 2x scope on top of a revolver. Probably some weird archaeotech. The gloves right there.
Lesson learned.
Also, when you're in the load game menu, hitting space still pauses. Ladratari. Those are multi-keys. That's not the thing I thought it was going to be.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Got it. That officer helmet. +5 armor. Cool. Basically, it's a carapace helmet.
A new challenge for me?
Left his goods.
None shall stand in my way.
We're about to lose a bunch of shit. Alright, cough. I can't see. I can't see. The roar of the flames rings in your ears, and the choking smoke makes you cough and gasp for air. You instantly recoil from the scorching heat, wiping your face. A moment later, a hazy silhouette forms in a raging wall of fire. You are surrounded by ear-splitting noise and screaming, yet you distinctly hear the sounds of footsteps, and then you see the figure walk out of the fire towards you. It's Theodora von Valsius. Her expression is calm, terrifying so, for someone whose body is engulfed in an inferno. One of her hands is resting on the hilt of her power sword. The other is raised in an inviting gesture. Are you lost, my heir? Argentina goes as still as a statue and then slowly raises her weapon. An apparition, a sorceress apparition, trickery of the warp. Sister, you will lower your weapon. Despite his demanding tone, Aberlin does not sound too confident. He is staring at the road trader and you notice a muscle in his cheek twitching. Threatening the Lord Captain is outrageous. Aren't you in pain? Pain is but a reflection of one's weakness, Rabbitus Messianus. To renounce weakness of spirit is to pursue the greatness. Greatness is only the path to heights worthy of the road trader. Theodora watched you without blinking. Her snake-like gaze almost makes you forget about the fire searing you, leaving burns on your skin. I can lead you out of these flames, Rabbitus Messianus, show you a path, rid you of pain, and give you a weapon, so that you may defeat your enemies. Decide. Your mouth begins to salivate. Each word Theodora speaks is like music to your ears. The entitlement that now dwells in the deepest recesses of your mind is pleading, begging, demanding that you give her an immediate answer, and that the answer can be nothing other than acceptance. Do not listen to this aberration, Rabbitus Messianus. If this is not but his light in your heart, if you are If you are resolute in your faith, then step into the flames. The Emperor protects. His faithful will not be deterred by either darkness nor deceitful promise, nor will the fire burn those who carry the torch of faith in their soul. You want me to walk into the fucking fire? To the void with you. We need to follow Lady Theodora, but we suffocate in this furnace. The people. Abelan looks back at the coughing and confused people around you. Rabbit must down. The survivors from the middle depths. We must help the crew. Lead them out. Find a way. Over the roaring flames, you hear distant sounds, frightened voices screaming, muffled and distorted, as if there were a body of water between you and them. Okay. I see what they did here. Then we'll miss our chance to meet up with Ed. Iridis breaks off and starts coughing violently. Her knees buckle and she looks like she's about to fall. Rabbit smells down, so what are you waiting for? Thousands of needles pierce your consciousness, but are powerless to stop you. You step forward, and the illusion breaks. A wave of excruciating pain crashes over you, and Theodora's voice fades into the firestorm. You hear the voice of your companions calling from behind you, and the screams of the wheat dying in the inescapable blaze. A blinding inferno. The harrowing pyre, all of consuming storm releases you as you step out, barely able to stay on your feet. Blood is pounding your ears, drowning out the world around you. Your eyes caked in soot, and burned eyelashes refuse to open. Free from the flames, you take 2 more steps before collapsing to your knees. The rush of blood in your temples and horrible pain all over your scorched body cloud your mind, before suddenly retreating as if driven away by some mighty will. A new strength spreads through your veins, and despite the wounds, your body is once more ready for the trials and struggle. You open your eyes and see a glow with warm light below you on Aquila, the sacred symbol of the Imperium. Okay. Next moment, you're struck with another realization. The repulsive presence that has once plagued your mind since Vladimir wounded you is gone. The fire seems to have burned the entity away without a trace. Mr. Rebus Metstanis, Master Rebus Metstanis, can you hear me? Familiar voice cuts through the din and the pounding. Seneschal Aberland Witterston is leaning over you, peering into your face with a look of worry. He notices your gaze and breathes out a sigh of relief. You are alive and sane, which is more than I was expecting after what you just did. Praise the Emperor! Arcina kneels next to you, and for the first time, you see your eyes radiate pure, unclouded joy. We pass through the flames. Oh, how can this be anything but a potent? For so it is said, the Emperor will bless the worthiness and the most steadfast in his faith. Behind Argentina, you see Iridateus double over in a fit of nausea. The rest of the people who were following you have withered away in the fire and continue to rage merely meters from you. We're still alive. Fancy that. Did you see that? The Aquila? It was glowing. The Emperor protects Seneschal. Your attempt at humor is inappropriate. Aberlin frowns. You nearly well got us all killed by charging straight into the fire. But I didn't. What happened to Lady Theodora? Did she follow us? There was no Theodora, witch. Argentina is staring straight ahead, then crossed her arms over her chest with reverence. There was an illusion, a temptation, a foul taint that tried to lead us astray. But Rabidus Mexicanus perceived his true nature. Is that right, Adeptus Saint? Is that right, Adeptus Sanctimonious? Well, we'll just pretend like we didn't see the Lord Captain standing there in the fire. Aberland, you tell her. Whatever it was, it matters no longer. Aberland sighs. Your contact Ravenous message is bordering on madness or holiness. A path open behind you. Path open behind you where in one moment there was fire. The next, only smoldering embers remain. But what am I saying? My eyes must have deceived me. Too much smoke to my lungs. Truly, would you have received wounds like these if there had been no fire? The wounds are merely a sign of the trial's laudable path of a trial laudably passed. It is something to be proud of, the same as a decoration or a badge of honor. Argentina herself sounds proud, even fervid. No element holds power over the righteous. Dismiss the help and stand on your own. I feel fine. Admittedly, I've been better. Even if you were anticipating another wave of pain, it does not come. Your muscles feel strong, and your limbs obey. Obey you without fail, and yet deep inside, somewhere next to your heart and stomach, you feel a certain tension akin to that of a taut string. You are at your limit. But, be it adrenaline or strength of your faith, it will not carry you much further. Ravenous Mexicanus, do my eyes deceive me? I could swear that I just witnessed you step into a pillar of fire with the rest following in your wake. I hurried here to join force with you and the others. It is time to push the heretics back. It was the only way. We are here in response to your Voxtal. I loathe being late for an engagement. Nothing good ever comes from such rashness. Yet, it appears that the Emperor favors you. Ethlin examines you at once. Be that as it may, your wounds are highly worrying. Ethlin doesn't seem to have changed since you first met, but only at first glance. His face took a strange hue, something like scales appeared at his temples. Then there's a weird screeching note in his voice. These are not the traces of fatigue and stress. The sacred body has begun to mutate, a consequence of contact with the warp. You're not in the best shape yourself, Ethrald. The sacred grins back to you. Did you pick up the traces of my blessing? Reverend Mestanus. Yes, the warp is taking its toll. But I'm still sane and able to hold my weapon. I fight for Von Valchia's bloodline to the end, even if it costs me the eternal curse of mutation. I can fight, at least for the time being. My faves keep me upright with a weapon in my hand. That is all that matters. I sort of holds up his hand in a placating gesture. Pray forgive my insolence. I shall not be the one to doubt the faith of he who passed a trial by fire. I have gathered everyone who answered the Voxtal and was able to hold a weapon. Yet I do not see Lord Captain or her arch-militant in the midst. We are still receiving messages in her voice, but she is not responding to direct requests. I last saw Lady Theodora on the observation platform. When did you see her? When did you and she part ways? It was at the very elevator, Master Ethrand. It was at this very elevator, Master Ethrand. The Lord Captain accompanied the Arch-Militant headed to the chambers to retrieve the items particularly important. After that, we all heard her on the Vox broadcast. This is troubling, and the timing is inopportune. I'm still receiving fragmented reports from the bridge. Conrad Valdrich was spotted there, and with scant intelligence on the activities reminds me of descriptions of sorceress ritual. If the traitor has resorted to witchcraft, we must stop him at once. A reasonable approach. Take your escort with you. You may be waylaid, Once you have found the Lord Captain, you must beg her to go to the bridge and lead the counterattack. The Road Trader's appearance is sure to fill the defender's heart with hope, however frightening or exhausted they might be. Until next we meet, Rabbi Mexicanus. May the Emperor bless your deed. I shall see you on the field of battle. Salutes you with his weapon and turns to his retinue.
We shall prevail.
Reload costs 2 AP last, minimum of 1. The first reload in combat is free. After the marksman deals damage to 3 different enemies, the next attack on the in combat deals additional damage. Tag team for every adjacent ally. The marksman deals additional +5 +3. So we got 8 times marksman ballistic skill bonus percentage. That could be very deadly. The cover efficiency is increased by 10% for full cover and 20% for half cover. So I'd be sitting at 70 and 110 respectively. So +2, so 4 times marksman agility bonus. I want rapid reload. Up a little bit more demolition. Okay. Increase movement points by the fighter by 4. That skin? +1 damage deflection. Their parry chance gains plus 25% of the fighter's total armor. Whenever an enemy attacks the fighter's next melee attack against the enemy deals an additional toughness bonus damage. Does not stat. The fighter has less than 50%. No, I'll go thick skin. Just make you a bit tankier. You're an adept. Logic? Pattern recognition. Every enemy with clue inflicts 1 stat of clue on 1 random enemy without clue in the 3-cell radius around them at the start of their turn. I'm not sure how to start stacking clue yet. And the edit triggers a stat of clue. That's not bad. Make you basically just a snipe assist. Free ability. I want you also to have rapid reload. Pop your demolition. There's some soft lit. Pretty sure that's her private chambers. Okay, no, that's the elevator.
noticed something.
Good job. Spots there. What do we got? 3 bonus to lodge a check.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Plasma conduits.
Victory awaits.
Okay, so we can't go in that room, but we can go over to here. Send them all the cargo. I shall be right back. 1 second. Okay. I'll turn the light on real quick. About to wash my hair today. Feels great. Also, if this doesn't end the prologue, we're probably just gonna finish it tomorrow. I don't think there'd be some weapons hidden around. I mean, I would. I'd have weapons stashed all over my fucking private room. A universe like this? No fucking doubt. I do love the bathtub, though. Even if you can't go in it. I would like to have one more guy. Oh, that's not good. Is that an orc skull? Primate hunt from the trophy board. The light smoldering surface is dotted with dark spots and trembling holes. There's the weapons. There she is. She's dead as fuck. Search him. What's that? Captain Militant's helmet. Requires Imperialis adherent. The helmet grants the wearer immunity to critical hits for the first 3 rounds of combat. There you go.
A new challenge for me.
Okay, that's everything I can find off this. We don't have to fucking melt her, right? Hey, dude, what's up? Fuck yeah, I'm slaying heretics. Turns out, the Spy Master's a fucking heretic. Who would have thought? Definitely hasn't been driven into me from every media I've watched. That I'm the Master of Whispers, and you're a fucking traitor, aren't you?
Excellence matters.
And there's my dead aunt. Theodora von Valsius's body is sprawled on the large blood-drenched desk. The arch-militant Torp, still clutching a weapon, is lying on the floor by one of the bulkheads. The Sister of Battle surveys the scene, her gaze lingering on the arch-militant's body. Emperor, accept thy faithful souls. No! Iridara's heart, rendering scream, shades the walls. She collapses to her knees, her body shuddering as she weeps. Lord Captain, I didn't hear a thing, not a whisper, not a breath. It was so loud. Why didn't I foresee this? Amerlin, stunned, takes a few steps forward and leans heavily on the edge of the desk. His eyes are locked on Theodora's body. Lord Captain, who would even dare? Unless that rat, Voldvir. Almost certainly he loathed Theodora. I doubt Voldvir wished humiliation and suffering upon Theodora, not a swift death. And suffering... I doubt it. Okay. Almost certainly he loathed Theodora. Aberlin runs his hands over his face. First betrayal, now the murder of the road trader, and Mort. I was hoping to get Mort. Mort was a cool fucking guy. How could Mort have failed her so terribly? The arch-militant was born on a death world. He had lightning fast reflexes. I mean, I was born on a death world. Irida sobs and gets up. She glances around looking lost. I can't look at things in my own way. If you find something that might bear the imprints of the killer, just give it to me, and I'll try to see what secrets it beholds. An auto pistol shot went straight through Mort's forehead, spraying the floor and the furniture around with blood, brain matter, and shards of his skull. The safety on the arch-militant weapon is off. The killer must have been a split second quicker than he. You lean closer to the body. The cause of death is apparent. What ended the road trader's life was an auto pistol shot, an extraordinarily accurate one at that. Theodora's face bears an expression of surprise, the last emotion she experienced in life. Something on the floor catches your eye. A heap of blood-splattered parchment and scroll that must have fallen off the desk. As you lean down for a closer look, you notice something else. Small shards of glass scattered on the floor. Inspect the shards. It is difficult to say what exactly was broken. The object fell on the floor, and that is as much as you can ascertain. Upon closer examination, the shards appear iridescent rather than completely transparent, as if they were submerged in promethium. Reports accords dispatches. You go over the scrolls until you stumble upon a document that is starkly different from the rest. It is a handwritten letter with the initial signed at C, and a seal with a symbol that is vaguely familiar to you. Irida scoops a handful of shards and clenches them in her fist, with such strength that blood starts dripping on the floor. I see streaks of color, luminance, blue light, faces drawing closer. Lady Theodora and Conrad. And what is that? Ah! She shakes her hand and looks frightened. Something dark, enormous. Oh, Rabidus Mexicanus. The glass thing was something nasty, that's for sure. Tainted witchcraft. You cannot tell if Argenta's remark is directed at the glass shard or Idira herself. Idira, when you try touching Theodora's body, you might be able to see the killer through her eyes. Idira's whole body shudders. It doesn't work like that. I can try to read the memories of objects, but dead bodies are a different story. Something like that would require her soul, and after what we saw on the officer's deck, I won't risk searching for it in the warp. I mean, when you're dead, you kind of are just an item. Or an object, as you put it, but that should be fine. Just touch her back. Just look through her eyes. Don't bother with the whole metaphysical aspect of it. You don't need to know what she was feeling. You don't need to know what her emotions were. Just what did her body see. We had best be on our way. Yes, the crucible battle calls to me once more. No, wait. We must see if we can find anything. Idra. Eberlin lays a hand on her shoulder. You can't bring her back. Let her go. You give up so easily, old man. I expect as much from the sister. It's not like she has a heart, but you? Oh no. I'll get to the bottom of this. I'll find the one responsible for murdering the Lord Captain, and when I do, Idra clenches her fist. The scum will regret the day they were born. Fucking leveled up again? Holy shit, they're pushing us through levels.
Better themselves by wholeheartedly humiliating them at every step.
I fucking love the voice actor. We already have a medical guy. So I would like to get more awareness. Alright, you. Daring Breach. Get some athletics. Alright. Psycher chick. Your nets. Dismantling attack. Pump your logic. Actually, you're a Psycher. I would like you to have more lore warp. Yep, military experience. You cannot go higher in demolition. But we can pump your lore Imperium. Alright. Next spot would be... back out this way?
None shall stand in my way.
This is where we came in through that door.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Oh, shit, we were supposed to step this way. Alright, cool. Oh, that's a combat servitor.
The ire of the witch.
Alright, Seneschal. I would like you here. I want to be there. You can go... yeah, you can go there. You can go there.
Just a minor setback.
That's fine.
Pain and
Someone step into the middle spot. Ooh. That melted hurt.
I'm not injured. I'm enraged.
All right.
Indeed. I took care of this one.
Take out those two. Good.
Victory is
Endure. All right. Eat bullets. There we go. I think all three of those would have hit, actually. Okay, you. Drop his ass. That's too bad. I was hoping not the friendly fire, but...
Was that you? Be gone.
suffered worse.
Okay, combat engineer. Oh, you fucking dick. Alright, step in. Hat this fucker down.
You're back and forth.
Yeah, fucking Pritz. Grace of Obvious. The wearer gains +5 toughness. Their intelligence is less than 25. Yep, I'm putting that on. Because I am big dum-dum. Where's my intelligence? Intelligence 25. Perfect. Right there. You wear that. Logic. Alright, there we go. And that's all that. I wish I would have got the fucking Melta. Alright, it's telling me that his hand is still on his weapon, but it's not fucking there. Oh shit, there's shit right here. I didn't even see that. Road Trader's Cloak. The wearer of this cloak gains +5 bonus of fellowship for each enemy within 2 cells. I got me a cloak. Following those 40k rules, need a big cloak, massive fucking pauldrons, and a big hat. And a mantle. To the bridge. Alright. We'll do this part. Should be the last of it. How's our health looking? Okay, everyone's full up. Good.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Grab this.
The premonition.
Norvid Vision is the production of the warp energies that permeate the bridge. Etherold. He's doing a ritual. What are you summoning? Etherold looks somewhat harrowed, but is still in one piece. He glances at you over your shoulder, clearly alarmed. Rabidus Mexicanus, you are here, but where's Lord Captain? The Lord Captain will not be joining us. So it gives you a confused look. Then as realization dawns on him, his eyes fill with disbelief. No, the road trader is dead? Thrud shudders and grabs his shoulder. As you watch, the sleeve of his doublet opens up, and 2 bone growths pierce through the fabric. No matter what ritual Kernot is performing here, the warp is too strong. I can't withstand it. I feel my body changing with every second. As the warp breathes in the air, then the end. This is the end. We will perish in the warp, along with the warrant and all the dynasty heirs. The enemy of humanity is victorious. Ariel looks anxiously at Athrold, then she glances back to you. I've seen it before. We better get away from him. Changes are already accelerating. I forbid you the very thought of yielding. Only by resigning to your fate will you truly suffer defeat. Ship can still be steered out of the warp, but we must first restore communication between the bridge and the Navigator Sanctorum. I forbid you. Words worthy of a righteous soul. Save the lofty words for later, will you? The Navigator's ready to take the ship out of the warp if he gets some help from the bridge. Astrod stares at you and his eyes harden with cold resolve once more. Then we have no right to bow our heads. I fucking like you. We need to stop this. You can see Conrad Valter clearly in the gloom of the bridge. He is holding the now familiar broken blade, stained with dark drops that seem to have a peerless glimmer to them. Pearlescent. We are out of time. Athard bites his knuckles, desperately thinking. You can see how a wave runs through the whites of Athrod's eyes. They begin to fill with sickening yellowness. What? Theodore is dead? Stares at you, seemingly genuinely bewildered. No, that can't be. Not now. I still haven't. You didn't kill her? Thord lowers his head, then he sighs and Lot's eyes with you, his gaze cold and haunting. The ritual will not be completed. I will take care of it. And you, see to it that the void ship breaks free from the warp. Watch over our realm, and farewell. Edrod, don't! Are you about to spawn out? You're spawning out.
Feel my wrath!
I will take you down.
Okay. We are most definitely going to hold back for a second. While these guys do their fucking thing. Oh, nope, you're completely on their side.
Stop mocking me.
Okay, we should have straight up just shot you.
On it.
Hit him.
Unfortunate turn of fate.
Good, good, good. Okay, so we're gonna... Right, so I can use this after, if I remember right. Unless they changed it.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
fucking chaos spawn. That's my rate of fire.
I shall not fear.
Don't take a hit.
That was insulting.
Alright, so I get 4 shots.
There's nowhere to hide. My
Pop that.
time is now. Nothing I can.
Ah, that's the wrong thing. Shit.
Not a problem for me.
And I'm just consistently missing. Stop fucking healing yourself. That's from the town and all their allies deal an additional 10% damage. Till the Ultimate allies also take no damage from friendly fire attacks. End of the commander's next turn.
Ready done.
Get behind him.
My place is at the fore. It will be done.
Okay.
I will do my duty.
My prescience has failed me.
You endure. Treat by focusing all the will behind one massive psychic shriek.
Will do.
Hit it. Good. And take the hit. Yep. Ow.
Rise.
I could hit myself. Don't hit me.
That is not the Emperor's will.
Okay, so you can't use that. Grant momentum each of the ministry. Okay, shoot and run.
I'll do it. This is unacceptable. Guided by faith.
Move to there. Fire again. Alright, he can't heal anymore. I'm down.
Had foretold that.
Um,
I need your aegis, O Emperor.
Yep, we're working on it. Alright, so we should have killed everyone else first and then focused the spawn. So, I mean, we're kind of... It really doesn't matter. It's gonna hurt everybody.
Of course.
Shoot the bid fuck.
Just a minor setback.
Dude, you are getting fucking wrecked.
Protect the fallen.
God damn. Reload.
My soul shall become like fire.
Yep, we lost this fight. We're gonna retry this fight tomorrow. Thank you everyone who stopped by today. I know we're turning a bit early, but yeah, got some stuff I wanted to watch. We will most likely be playing this again tomorrow around the same time, so 5, 6 EST.